Hi there, this is Utsav and you are watching DUNIFX. I welcome you to the fourth lecture of ball animation series, and if you haven't already seen my previous video where I've told how to model the ball, I recommend you to please go and watch that one and then see this. So without any further ado, let's get started. So, to begin with the lecture today, firstly, we'll be going to make the ball animation, and after that, we'll be going to assign the ball its hairy structure so that it looks like a real tennis ball. Nice. So, let's begin making the ball animation. Let's hit 0 on the number pad to come out of the camera view. Now, let's take it a bit here. Let me enable my shortcuts. I forget every time I open Blender. Okay, here it is. Now select the ball. Okay, let's take this panel here up. This is the animation panel wherein we will add our keyframes. Okay, now let's add our keyframes. Let me first switch to the front view here. Okay, let's hit 3 on the number pad to go to this view. Okay, hit 3. Now let's move the ball up a bit so that it falls from the top and touches the ground. Let's take it up, hit G and Z, move it here. It's fine here. Nice, it's fine here. Okay, let's right click and where it's written insert keyframes, choose location and scale. You can see a diamond shape here. This means you have added a keyframe to this particular location. Okay, let's now go to the 50th frame here. Okay, let's hit I. By the way, the hotkey for inserting a keyframe is I. So now let's choose location and scale again. Nice. So our animation is from the first frame to the 50th frame, and if you hit space you cannot see anything because we did not assign the keyframe where it touches the ground. Okay, so let's move to the 25th frame. Let's let's move the ball a bit down, hit G and Z. Let's place it here. Okay, let's take a look from this side. Let's move it a bit up, and I think this is fine. It should go into the plane a bit, and let's take it a bit down a bit. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, don't forget to assign a keyframe, hit I and choose location and scale. Now let's play our animation. This here is your starting keyframe and this here is your end keyframe. So our animation begins from frame 1 and it goes up to frame 50. So let's do it 50. Okay, now let's take this all the way on the first keyframe. Let's hit spacebar and you can see the ball bouncing, but this is damn unrealistic because this does not follow the law of physics. That is, if the ball touches the ground it should squeeze a bit. Okay, so let's add the squeezing. Hit shift bar to pause. Let's go to the front view and let's go to the 25th frame. Nice. Let's first add keyframes on the 24th frame here. Okay, hit I and choose location and scale. Also on the 26th frame, hit I and choose location and scale. Now go to the 25th frame. Now hit 1. Let's squeeze it a bit. Hit S and hit X to scale it along the x-axis, and I think this much is fine. Let's go to the top view, hit 7 on your number pad. this might look like an egg. Okay, let's scale it on the y-axis a bit, hit S and Y, and this is fine. Now don't forget to assign it a keyframe, because the keyframe we assigned earlier is for the original shape of the ball, and this time the ball is not in its original shape, it's squeezed a bit. Okay, so hit I and assign it a keyframe, hit location and scale. Now let's play it. Hit spacebar. Let's go to the render viewer, choose from cycles to EV to look at what's happening. Okay, I think this is good. Yeah, this looks good, right? Hit spacebar to stop. Now, the very important step, let's add its hairy structure. So let's bring the ball, the ball is here, and let's assign it the material. So let's go back to the solid viewport, select the ball, and where it's written particle properties, choose it, hit plus icon and choose hairs. You will be going to see this type of hairs coming out of the ball where it's written emission. Let's increase the number of hair, say 10,000. Okay, let's decrease the hair length and let's decrease it, and I think it should be fine on, I think 0.05 meters is fine. Okay, and where it's written render, choose lime green. Okay, and let's come to the children here, choose interpolate. As you can see, the hairs already multiplied. Let's increase the quantity here where it's written display amount. Let's make it 70. Okay, and where it's written threshold, let's increase this a bit. I think it should be 0.250 maybe. You can choose whatever you want, it depends on you. And where it's written roughness, let's randomize the hairs. So you don't want your hairs to be on a particular axis, so let's make them randomly popping out. Okay, let's increase them. Your system might lag on this step because this takes too much load on your system. If you have a high-end system, it's fine, but if you have an average system specification, this will definitely lag. Okay, now as you can see, the hairs are also assigned on the white circular line here. So if you remember, I told in the previous video to assign the other parts of the ball vertex groups. If you haven't already seen it, I recommend you to go first watch that video and then watch this one. So let's assign the hairs only on the lime green area of the ball. So where it's written vertex groups, and choose density, where it's written groups, choose it. Okay, as you can see, the hairs are only assigned on the lime green part of the ball. Okay, now let's render the ball. So today we're not going to render the animation, because if you render it like currently in this position, say you go to the render here, you choose render animation, your keyframes will drop and your animation won't be smooth anymore. Let me show you. Hit space. As you can see, your animation dropped from 30 frames to 4 frames here. Now it's 0.69 frames. How can you expect your animation to be smooth? Okay, let's hit space. So today we are just going to render our ball. So let's take this panel down. Let's go to the render view. Let's go to the 25th frame. 25th. Let's go to the 26th frame. Nice. Let's go to a bit here. Let's move the light a bit up. Hit G and Z. Let's move it a bit down. Yeah, a bit down. Hit 0 on your number pad. And I think this is fine. Let's hit F12. So this is your ball here. I hope you like it. So go post it on Instagram and let's save it. Go to the image. Let's save it on here. Let's name it tennis final. Let's save it. Okay, so that's it for today, and in the next video we will be going to render our animation, and that will be our final video, so don't miss that. Well, I just forgot to tell you one thing, that is I forgot to change the render settings from EV to cycle. I apologize for that, and I recommend you to please change the render settings from EV to cycles. And if you have any queries regarding the video, please do let me know in the comments below.